Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Supplement Engineer Podcast. My name is Robert Schnetsky, and do we have a menage a trois of epic proportions today? As we are joined by my Thursday partner in crime, Justin Hall of Supplement Snoop, and the founder of Rage Nutrition, Mr. Nicholas James. Welcome, gentlemen.
This guy, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Nick. Let's get the rundown, man. We know that you are a no holds barred individual that shoots from the hip. Anybody that's been in the Supplement Snoop group knows that you're not going to pull any punches or take things lightly. You aren't going to sugarcoat anything. So let's see give us a brief recap of how you got into the supplement industry and what is why did you found Rage Nutrition to begin with?
All right. Originally, it was doing the normal work in mom and pop stores, this and that. Then got affiliated with a certain supplement company down here, which has a lot of problems. A lot of problems right now. My final stint before starting Rage was with actually one of your good friends, Performax.
Mr. Aaron West. Yep.
Yes. And there's a weird backstory to why I'm no longer there, which I don't want to throw somebody under the bus because they have kids, so I'll leave that part out of it. But
maybe later on in the show,
since they have a child, I will leave them out of this part. But it was brought to their attention that Rage Nutrition was starting, and so I got a phone call. By the way, you can't get into the computer in case you haven't noticed, and you can't log into anything, and you're fired. I said, okay.
Nice.
Rage Nutrition itself, that has always been a dream of mine because I watch everybody else do it, and it's one of those situations where it goes, if you never take a risk, you're never going to get a reward. So I finally one day said, fuck it. Here we go. We're going to do it.
Life of an entrepreneur. Fuck it. Let's do it.
It happened a little bit faster than it was supposed to happen because of a tattletale. That was a little upset because they were originally supposed to be part of Rage Nutrition, and I no longer wanted to bring them on board. So, they got their feelings hurt, and that was the end of that one. So, Rage Nutrition started. I'm one of those guys where, for me, it's like when I worked with Aaron and a few other guys. You learn. Luckily, I've been able to be around enough people where I get to watch them fuck up and them do all the stupid shit, and it costs them money. So I can go, yeah, don't do this. Don't do this. Definitely don't call Gary V. Okay? No offense to anybody, but Gary V is not a self-made millionaire, so he can go fuck himself and his family's wine business. Okay?
There we go. All right.
That's how you become Mr. fucking Guru on your family's business. So everybody thinks he's like God's gift to the world, but
I know.
Stop it. He's not self-made. Sorry.
Not at all, man. You are one of the. I've heard a handful of people say that Gary Vee isn't always up to be, and it's refreshing to hear that there's more people along that same thought line.
Gary Vee is a 5 foot tall piece of shit.
All right, so we can use that as a snippet.
That's the clickbait lead-in for this.
That will generate some traffic.
Listen,
why does Nick think Gary Vee is a 5 foot tall piece of shit? Next on Supplement.
Besides the fact that I saw him next to somebody I know, because now he's delving into the sports card market, of which he knows nothing about. That was my second job growing up, was in sports cards. I've dealt with cards my whole life. I love them. It's like a hobby. Dude, stay in your fucking lane, bro. Like, you know nothing about this shit. Next thing you know, he's going to start making supplements. Gary Vanderdick supplements. No, stop it. But, it's one of these things, like, when you see...
I'm going to go make some popcorn. I'll be right back.
Yes. So, when you see somebody who is this, self-proclaimed guru and everybody worships the stupid quotes that this fucking guy says, he didn't even make his money himself. It's his family's money. How can you be a self-made millionaire from your family's fucking business? Granted, you might have helped grow it, but you grew a 7-figure fucking business. You didn't grow a shitbox of nothing into a 8-figure business. You grew a 7-figure into an 8-figure business. That's a little bit different. Andy Frisella slept on a piss-stained mattress. Now he does about $150 million a year in sales. That's a self-made millionaire, not Gary Vee.
Well, so, and not to derail that, we can definitely come back to that. But you also, it's not just supplements that right that your background, like you're a personal trainer and all that good stuff too, right?
Oh yeah, I went to college for exercise science and sports nutrition. I was offered my free master's, which in turn was going to be offered my free PhD. Except I went to school at 35 when I graduated with a bunch of 18-year-olds, and they give you a stipend. And they're like, your stipend is going to be this. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? My rent is more than that. You know, I'm not a kid living in my parents' house. I have bills. I have a car payment. I have shit I got to do. I have clients. I'm a personal trainer. I can't be here because it was supposed to be with the FAU football team. I can't be here 80 hours a week. Literally 80 hours a week. I can't do it. You know, you're going 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. every night. You got to travel with the team. You make no money. And I'm like, I have bills. I'm not a kid. Like, this doesn't work. So, yeah, we had to say no to that. But, you know, fitness, my little brother, when he played football, he's like, I want to be big and strong. I want to be a big, strong guy. And he was like a beanpole. So I'm like, all right, we got this. By the time he started training at 15, by the time he was 17, he was the unofficial world's strongest teenager. So, you know, the one competition we were doing, he made the record to go to nationals to have it official, except, you know, kids in school, like, we can't be traveling around to go to this shit. Like, kids in high school, we can't do this. So, and then he learned what marijuana was, and then he decided he didn't like lifting weights anymore. He liked pot too much. But he's back now, which is good.
That's good.
He likes lifting weights again. I was like, you just got to find a happy medium. Smoke a little pot, lift weights, but you can't smoke so much pot that you can't lift weights. Like, you know, you got to find a happy medium here.
Well, I think like what you said that was really cool was something I know you and I really agree on, and just kind of the way I try to approach things, and I think Rob agrees too. It's like when you make mistakes or you see other people make mistakes, it's like, you know, when you're giving advice or something like that, it's like, we're not trying to tell you like what to do, but it's like, hey man, we've already fucked up. So if you want to listen to me and maybe not fuck up,
Yeah.
But if you don't want to listen, that's fine. But it's like, really, it's not like a standing on a soapbox thing. Like when Nick doles out information and he gets rolling, it's not like Nick, I'm trying to prove how smart I am and all that stuff. It's like, no, man, I've seen it, been it, lived it. Like, if you want to listen to me or not, like, you know, it's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, I've been homeless. Like, you know, I've been to the bottom of the fucking totem pole and I've lived there and it sucks. I made every mistake top to bottom you can make, you know. Luckily, on the supplement side, I got to watch everybody else's mistakes. On the personal side, not so much. You know, I got to find those out the hard way. But, you know, it's like when you try to tell people, a lot of times I'm very blunt. I don't give a shit what people think about me. It drives my girlfriend crazy because she's like, you just don't care. I'm like, no, I don't care. If you like me, like me. If you don't, you don't. If you don't like me, it's because you're somewhat insecure and your feelings get hurt too much and you can't handle reality. Because I just tell her how it is. I don't give a shit. If your feelings are gonna.
Well, you're not outlandish for no reason. Like saying, I don't say shit just to get attention. Like you say stuff because you fucking mean it.
You know, if you look, you don't see me, you know, posting all kinds of crazy, stupid shit on social media. It's pretty quiet and chill for the most part. But when I have to say something, you know, it's like when Gorilla Chemist, when he started using theophylline thanks to fucking NutriCap. They're dumbasses. You know, I mean, the manufacturer, West, is a fucking narc for the FDA, for crying out loud. Like, come on. You know, the guy's over here using fucking theophylline, which is a prescription fucking drug, and then Gorilla Chemist comes out with this bullshit. I mean, he's a nice guy. He used to fucking work for Blackstone down here. He used to train 2 feet away from me. He's a nice kid.
It's like Steele's been doing it for years, too. Like, you know, it's crazy.
Oh, well, of course, because NutriCap makes it. And,
and High Tech that had it, and I think they use that to replace DMHA or DMAA in the latest Mesomorph too. Yeah.
Oh, the newest Mesomorph I think has 3 or 4 banned ingredients. I can't remember. They see what they do. Jared's a very smart guy. So what he does is
love Jared.
He goes back and he finds botanical herb names, uses those so nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. And I mean, I've watched him change spelling so that you go to look something up and you're like, this doesn't exist. Well, if you know what you're talking about, trust me. Oh, here it is, by the way. It's highly illegal. But, whatever. I like him because he loves to fuck with the FDA and fight over shit. So, keep going, buddy. Sue them fucking people, bro. They're so stupid.
Along those lines, what have been some of the biggest screw-ups that you've seen other companies make in your times with those other brands? You don't have to name names if you don't want to, but what are the specific errors that you saw them commit that you've learned from when getting Rage Nutrition off the ground?
All right, like there was one where, speaking of Gary V owns Gary V Sports Management something, whatever, where he's got these half-ass fucking college wannabe NFL guys, right? So you sign a contract with him, and his athletes, NFL athletes, are going to endorse your products. By the way, everything we make in the supplement industry is illegal in the NFL. It's illegal. Caffeine is illegal in the NFL. Caffeine. This thing, I drink these things. Everybody knows. Like, Rockstar. You owe me a lot of these fucking. I want to.
It's true. You pump that out pretty good.
I told the representative I ran into him the other day, and I was like, "You owe me a fucking fridge, buddy." And everything we make is illegal, but Gary V doesn't know this because he makes motivational quotes. So, I watched somebody pay this dude like $40,000 to have these guys promote our products, which they weren't even allowed to promote. And it's like, you could be taking that $40,000 and actually put that towards real marketing. Mm-hmm. Because when you're following these insta-famous people, with the exception of like Bradley Martin, who's football guys aren't big fitness guys.
I know who that is now. I know who Bradley Martin is.
Yeah, now you know. Now you know.
I just don't get out much. I know you guys, and that's it.
Yeah, his products suck too, but they're very, very average at best. But he's got 2.2 million followers, so it works.
Yeah.
But unless you're giving your money to like a fitness influencer, which even half the time doesn't even, it doesn't work. Unless you're pulling the numbers game. Redcon, they pull the numbers game. They're getting over 500 million impressions per month. Per month. So, because they're playing the numbers game. They have the biggest gamers on YouTube, most of the biggest fitness people on Instagram and YouTube. So they're playing the numbers game. But if you just do, I've watched Boss say, all right, we're going to pay this girl $150. She's going to make a post for 24 hours saying, taking my product, it tastes so good. That literally does nothing. It literally does nothing. And I've watched them do it over and over and over again. It's like, you're just wasting money. You could be putting that to a focused ad around the store, around anything on Facebook.
Or make some nicer sandals that they can give away.
What's that?
Make some nicer sandals that they can give away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, don't give away sandals at the end of summer. If you're going to give away fucking sandals, shit. Hey, Primeval Labs, know the sandals go on your feet at the beginning of the summer.
Right. Okay? Right. Great giveaway in the fall to do sandal giveaway.
Redcon already did that, and they gave you a towel too. So, you're so far behind the boat. Come on, dude. I'm going to give you a winter coat for May. No.
Hey, Rob, how would you say you felt about the Supplement Engineer podcast? Have you enjoyed your time here?
I love my job. If I could make Joe Rogan money doing the podcast, I would do this full time because I love having honest, in-depth conversations with interesting people in the industry. So we can start talking about the founding of companies and formulations and ingredient research and product reviews and all that stuff. But then when we peel that second layer back and we get deeper into issues, that's when I really start to have fun with everything. So yeah, I love this podcast. So hearing, Nick roll and you, kind of bounce in with it, I'm a kid in a candy store right now. I love this. So yeah.
Well, it's good because this is definitely going to be your last episode.
Probably so.
Yeah, one of these people, it's like, I'm the guy that nobody knows that everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm that guy that nobody who the fuck is Nick James? But the people that matter know who Nick James is. And people are like, how the fuck do you know all these people? I'm like, listen. It's all about connections and networking. You're not being a dick. I am a dick. But only if being a dick is deserved. I'm a very nice guy, even though I'm covered in tattoos, have a mohawk, and wear my hat backwards. So you guys have your hats forward, I got my hat backwards. So.
Well, and I'll just say this too. So when I first started talking to Nick, I was like, wow, what's that?
He regretted every minute of it.
Fuck that. No way. Because I was, it's very hush hush industry, right? People don't tell you anything. And I'm kind of like, when being a total outsider, maybe even like a year ago, I'm sitting there kind of going, man, there's a lot of stuff that's just under the rug here. This is kind of creepy. Like I would talk to more and no one would divulge any sort of information, or what I got the feeling was that nobody knew. Like you ask people about their own companies, they don't know shit about their own companies. No. And then I started talking to Nick like randomly. I'm not sure how it kind of happened, but he started telling me things. I was like, man, this dude knows some shit. I was like, who is this guy? And we just got to know each other more and more. And I was like, he's just one of those type of people where it's like, the supplement industry is so sort of tight knit and hush hush in ways. Like there's people sort of, branching out as more and more companies start. But Nick's kind of one of those people where he's like, well, whatever. I'm not going to hide your secrets for you, your bullshit. He's like, because I have no reason to. I'm not tied into everyone's tied into each other, right? You can't say things about a certain company because your future depends on them. And it's like there's a few people at the top of the industry and everybody's suckling like at their teats, you know what I mean? And that's where I came in. I was like, I don't give a fuck about these guys. I don't even know them. Like they're and then Nick was kind of like the same way. Nick's like, fuck these guys. So we came and started talking about stuff. So it's kind of cool.
It's like Katie Hearn and her fucking Alani Nu. Bitch,
still don't know who that is.
She owns this fucking much of that company. It's, like you see Christian Guzman. Oh, he owns 3D energy drinks. No, he doesn't. He owns this much. The same guy that owns 3D, owns fucking Alani Nu, owns all her other companies. That's what it is. It's people don't realize that like the majority, all these fitness personalities, run everything labs with Daniel Lynn Bailey. Yep, somebody else paid for that one. Singerman. C.T. Fletcher, Singerman. Kai Green, Singerman. Jay Cutler, MHP. Now he's got his own shit. C.T. Fletcher has his own shit. Jason Hugh, Singerman. Nobody knows that Singerman owned all these fucking companies. That's what a lot of these fitness personalities are. One guy with a lot of money that already has the business model set up, paying for all this shit. And he just stamps somebody's name on it and go, oh. That's why GNC picks up Arms Race Nutrition, because they signed Julian Smith. This guy had 1.3 million followers. If they didn't have Julian Smith attached to it, guess what? GNC is not picking it up the day after it releases. Same thing with Alani Nu. She's got Katie Hearn, 2, 3, 4 million followers, whatever it is. So that's what it is. GNC is going by they're popular on Instagram, so their stuff's going to sell. That's the method they're going by. Well, the manufacturer eats a dick and doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. So they can't even keep a product properly manufactured or in stock. So, like, really? This is who you went for? Come on.
Well, something interesting I think you told me before. How many supplement companies have started out of your gym?
Where'd he go? Justin.
I'm here.
Yeah, we're also here.
Oh, I see Robert. I see Justin. I see a little circle.
Did you hear me though?
I can hear you.
Okay.
And so out of my gym, we've had Blackstone, Prime Nutrition, Redcon 1, Run Everything Labs, Iron Addicts, Woodstrong. That's a whole nother story. He's a fucking dipshit.
Raise Nutrition.
Woodstrong, Raise Nutrition, Steel Supplements.
That's crazy.
Dynamic Muscle.
And there's plenty more advanced performance that was started by a young kid. That it's one of those things. He's like 21 years old, and he would always come to me for advice. And I'm like, listen, the best advice, I've told Justin this a million times, the best advice anybody in this industry can give you if you want to start a supplement company, go work for somebody else. You have to learn the front end. You have to learn the back end. You have to understand retailers. You got to understand international. You got to understand pricing is different across the board, whether it's retailers, exclusives, like we've had people, I want an exclusive, but I want to spend $500 a month. Well, go fuck yourself. I'll sell to your next door neighbor. You know, you want to give me this much in sales? Cool, we can talk. But $500? Nah, I'm good. I have customers that spend. I literally have one customer that spends more. Guy like eats fucking Immortal when I used to have it in stock. Guy eats that shit. No, Eddie won't even try it.
Yeah, Eddie won't even try it. What am I talking about? Eddie's scared to try it.
And speaking of Sean, Sean's a stim pussy. And
Sub-Talk Radio.
SuppEngr50 Radio. So he's a stim pussy, so he won't take my shit, and he's over here taking El Jefe. I'm like, what?
I saw that, dude. I saw that. That was dirty. That was dirty.
That's got like 420 milligrams of caffeine, which is like bedtime. DMHA. And you won't take my product? Come on, man, you're killing me. But it's like you have to put in the time with somebody else, make connections, make friends, learn the industry itself. Don't just come out here, because as soon as he told me what he was paying, I'm like, you're out of business. You're out of business. Plain and simple. You can't forget about even staying in business. You can't grow at what you're at. It's never gonna happen. And then the way he was doing it, he would like hit up everybody that followed me that was a supplement store, and then he would turn around and try to sell to them. And they always, do you know this kid? And I'm like, yeah. A couple of them, they like felt bad, so they're like, all right, we'll bring it in. We'll give it in for shits and giggles. And I'm like, how much is he charging you for this shit? And he's like, don't even ask. He's like, I give him one shot just for shits and giggles because he's a young kid, he's trying. Yeah. But there is no way in hell I will ever pay this price again. And I'm like, well, honestly, I know what he made. I know what it cost him to make it. So he's literally making no money. He's making $1, like $1. That's it. You can't scale business that way. It's not gonna happen. And you have to know going in. If you don't know all the back end little bullshits that you got to deal with, you don't understand what the hell that you're about to face. Because you've seen it. This industry is ruthless, and it's crazy. And you're dealing with, if it's not this, it's that. If it's not that, it's this. And it's a never-ending just gluttony of punishment. It's a great business. It's a great industry. I love this industry. But, man, it's rough.
What about, so like, what's your view being from your end? And I know Robert, probably the most famous YouTube reviewer of all time. And
yeah, you know how pissed off I was when Mike fired you, that piece of shit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he didn't actually fire me. That might have been CJ. I don't know. I left and I said, look.
That was some bullshit.
Well, yeah, I would say the way it was handled probably wasn't the best, but it had become a time where he was starting to want to take the price plow towards like the biohack and keto thing, and I wanted to keep more supplements and get more ingrained. And I had started to develop more relationships with more brands where I was going to be able to start doing consulting and formulation stuff more. And so that's where my natural interests lie, was getting more ingrained in the industry instead of just, spending the rest of my life reviewing stuff.
I was very mad though when you left. I was like,
yeah, I've echoed those same I've heard those same sentiments echoed, and I appreciate that, man. It was fun, and I will always be grateful to Mike for letting me get into this industry, because that was, him and Tommy.
You don't have to say this.
Well, no, I'm serious.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm genuine about this. But Tommy Noonan at Supplement Reviews and Mike both gave me my initial, each one of them picked up one of my legs and let me get into this industry. So I'm always going to owe each of them for the opportunity to forsake engineering and do what I love for a living. So.
All right, so let's get to the real shit now. You got that disclaimer out of the way. Let's no, but what I was gonna ask you, Nick, is like being in your position as a smaller but really effective, because your shit works, right? But you're also a smaller company too. So what do you think about reviewers and how that thing has sort of tied the industry and sort of insidiously worked its way in, and the positives and negatives for someone like you and like reviewers?
Well, you have good, all right, so let's take the UK, for instance. They have 2 reviewers. Tariq with Supplement Review, and I forget the guy, the Review Bros. I always forget that. The point of being my boys, your best friends. The point of being a reviewer is you're supposed to be an honest, opinion-giving person. If you own, there's 2 main reviewers that are like this. Price Plow is one, and Tariq is another one. I love Tariq; he's a great guy. But when you focus on one company 24/7, Price Plow eats ghost dick like there's no tomorrow. Every time I turn around, Oh, what's Price Block posting today? Let me guess. Ghost has a new game-changing flavor.
Wow.
Oh, look. Ghost mix is great. Oh, Ghost. Bro, Price Plow. You are supposed to be talking about all supplements. That's your job. You literally talk about Ghost and NutriBio 24/7.
Oh, that reminds me. I think it's been about a half hour. I have to talk about Morphogen Nutrition. I'm under contract to make mention of Morphogen Nutrition.
Yeah. It blows my mind because like he does it with Strong Nutrition. He does it with them, and
he gets very upset when people say that too.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to give honest, genuine feedback. That's your point. It's like when people were reviewing Immortal and the original Formula X. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It tastes like dog shit. It really did. The first batch was even worse. But it's one of those things like you're supposed to be honest. Like don't tell people that C4 is as good as Immortal as a stem ball. Like, but people are doing that because like, oh, well, I get a commission from this, so I'm going to do it. No, like you're supposed to be honest. We understand you're going to make money, but you also have to target the proper audience because you're going to piss a lot of people off if you say this when in reality it's this. And you're supposed to go out, no bullshit, talk, say what you got to say, be honest about it, and that's it. You're supposed to steer people in the right direction. But when you're steering everybody in the same direction, I mean, there's one guy with the last 5 pre's, they're literally saying they're all like the same thing. But if you pull the panels, they're nothing alike. There's no way that this compares to this. I know. There's no way in hell. But you're literally just, why don't you just change the recap on the video and just keep posting the same video over and over again. So that's the part I hate about it. Like Justin, he's very honest. He's very honest. You send him something, he'll be like, "Yeah, your shit sucks." It sucks.
That's why they don't send it to me. People are like, "Well, you usually say I speak highly of the products I get." I was like, "Because of the people, they don't send me anything if it's not good."
You know better. If you're gonna send Justin something, like you know better. Like he's about to destroy your product if it's bad. It's plain and simple, and that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to destroy products if they're shitty, and you're supposed to it's like this new Alpha Pump is that what it's called? Alpha Pump from Nutrex. This is a basic shit fucking formula. It's got 2.6 grams of actives and 6 point something grams of fucking fillers. Get the fuck out of here. I got retailers like, oh, this is the greatest pump product ever made. Really, it's underdosed across the board with like 4 shitty ingredients. Really? This is the greatest thing ever? It's the greatest pump product? You're literally just drinking fillers. The actual actives in there, besides the fact they're underdosed to hell, there's none in there. So they're playing the whole filler game. Look at the size of my scooper. Yeah, it's like having a big dick and not knowing how to fuck. What's the point? It blows my fucking mind sometimes. I'm like, listen, you take my scoop at 16.8 grams, I believe, and it's 15.5 grams of actives. It's like 90% actives and 10% it tastes like shit because I don't care. It's one of those things. I want it to work. I want it to be effective. I'm not feeding you garbage. I'm feeding you just enough to where it doesn't taste like garbage. But I'll tell you, it'll light a fucking fire under your ball sack like you've never seen. But then I had to downplay it. I had to change my formula a little bit because a lot of people were puking because it was too powerful. These are DMAA, DMHA stem junkies.
Yeah, it doesn't have either.
If you learn how to properly put ingredients together, you can not use those.
Well, and you didn't it's not prop blended either.
I don't
transparently dosed.
I don't give a shit. This is what I got. If you want to copy it, at the time, there's a few guys now that have more expensive formulas, but at the time, it was probably the most expensive formula pre-workout wise to make on the market. It was absolutely absurd. I got close as high as $27 to make.
Oh. Robert, have you ever tried Immortal?
No, I have not. But I mean, I've seen the panel before, and I pulled it up again ahead of the podcast, and yeah, like Nick said, it's gonna light your balls on fire. I mean, and the caffeine isn't even over the top that much either. I mean, it's 450. and change.
And this is the baby version compared to the original formula. But, it's like me and Justin were talking about this the other day. When you're dealing with like area gerensis, for instance, I pull the extract. I want the strong, powerful citrated extract. So on mine, it's 250 milligrams. When you pull just area gerensis, you're getting, I don't think anybody knows the breakdown of it. We were talking about it.
Yeah.
But you're getting multiple PEAs in there. I don't want multiple PEAs. I want the ball kicker. That's what I want.
Yeah. Right.
So give me the extract. Give me the very strong, powerful, overpriced version of it. And let's put 250 milligrams of it in there. That's what I want. I don't want this little nonsense. I don't want these other PEAs. I don't like those. I want this version.
Well, what do you think? Oh, well, and in that vein, now bringing that up, what do you think about, so, with DMHA and all this other stuff, how you hear people, they'll say when you see, say, Juglans, Regia, or, some of the other forms, you'll see the overall, like, the plant or the bark. And people say, I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of like, I don't want to say I cringe, but they say, oh, it's got 375 milligrams of DMA or DMHA in it. It's like, well, no, it's got 375 milligrams of juglans in it. That's not 1-to-1 DMHA. And
if there was 375 milligrams of DMHA product, you would be fucking dead. Like, nobody's taking 375 milligrams of pure DMHA and surviving a workout. On top of the 500-600 milligrams of caffeine, on top of all the other stimulants in there. It's not happening. You are not going to function.
So when we don't know, and we were talking about this the other day, and Robert, we could probably include you in this conversation. I actually would, of course. But like Nick just mentioned, Soya urea gerensis, and then we take, we extract the strong stuff, right? Juglans, we extract the strong stuff maybe, but we don't know what that is, that standardization. So it's like when you see the overall plant extract, it's almost just like a big crapshoot, like Nick was saying about, we're getting a lot of stuff, but we don't know if we're getting the stuff we're actively seeking out, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could have just grinded up the plant and thrown that powder in there. They're not actually extracting for anything. It could just be a broad spectrum plant extract, like a lot of the generic ashwagandha products out there on the market are. It's literally just dehydrated, pulverized plant root, and then they just shove it in the capsule. When they try to but they're also at the same time playing off the popularity of that name. So you might think you're getting KSM quality stuff, but unless it's specifically listing out the exact standardization, you have no idea what the hell you're getting.
Yeah, my girl, she bought ashwagandha, just generic ashwagandha, because she likes to buy stuff and not ask me first. I don't know why, but it's like this 1,300 milligram ashwagandha, and I'm like, well, you're at the peak of what you probably should be taking at a time here. So let's try this. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Right, because it's a crapshoot.
Pile of shit. And I'm like, I hope you bought this on Amazon really fucking cheap, because this is shit. Like, this is garbage. Don't ever buy this again. You need to ask.
It's the Alani Nu version. Is that what you bought?
It definitely wouldn't have 1,300 milligrams. It would have about 40.
Well, they're catered towards women, so it would have 5 milligrams.
There we go. Right. The women's use.
Because, women are, like, totally different than men.
Yep.
Totally. Like, men and women should not be taking the same products.
Yeah, they definitely don't have fitness goals like men do, of course. It's like the whole shit is, and then too, man, geez, women, I know women that definitely like stims better than I do. And performance ingredients. It's like, and a lot of times, like we talk about, guys are the ones that constantly buy these like natural muscle builders, where really all they're kind of are is sort of pushing against cortisol and stress and stuff like that. It's like, women are the ones that actually could probably benefit from those more than us. You know what I mean? Just because the way their normal daily routine sort of differs from ours. So it's like, just try to get those misconceptions out of there. Like someone asked me today, said, what supplements do you recommend for beginners? I was like, it's an irrelevant question. I was like, you have to learn what ingredients you need to fit into your life? Like, what is it that you're trying to hack in your life, and what ingredients do that? I was like, all that other bullshit is just confusion. There is no beginner wall in the now. There's lower stims, but I know plenty of advanced, elite athletes that use C4 or something like that. I think just because that's just what they like. So it's like it's the ingredients, and we just constantly lose our way when we start looking at products and categories.
Yeah, and the thing with women, like before the temporary shutdown, my most repeat customers were women. Women.
I bet.
Women. Love it. Love it. They're stim junkies like there's no tomorrow. And like one of the girls, she's maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. I mean, maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. But I'll tell you what, she will outscoop and outwork any dude out there. She happens to be a stim junkie as well, and she loves it. And she loves the original formula better. The real, true stim bomb. That's her like go-to. And she was a little sad when we had to take one of the ingredients out, but it's one of the things like women, outside of their hormonal differences, when it comes to stimulants and all that other shit, they're the same as we are. Some of them love it. My girl eats stimulants like there's no tomorrow. I mean, partially my fault. But I actually got her the other day. She took she tried my combination, which is
I saw that
with Iron Brothers, the Thermo Burn. Mm-hmm. So it equates to 723 milligrams of caffeine, 75 milligrams of isopropyl norepinephrine, 250 milligrams of the Area Gerensis extract, and the list goes on top of all the thermogenics, and on leg day. And I was like, really, babe? Leg day? That's what you decided to try it on?
Yeah, I saw that.
But I personally, I love, like, people freak out about these 700 milligram caffeine pre-workouts and shit. Listen, there's people that you can give me a gram of caffeine right now, I'm good. I'm golden. There's people out there that can do it. It's not for everybody. Nobody told you it's for everybody. Nobody told you to start mixing products together. You might only like C4. You might only want non-stimulant stuff. I drink, I don't know, I think yesterday I had 4 of these.
That's 1.2 grams of caffeine for the listeners out there. It's the Rockstar Xterrence brand. It's got 300 mgs of caffeine per full can. So that's. Did you have a pre-workout in addition to those 4 Rockstars? I
did not have a pre-workout, but I did drink one and then immediately opened and drank the second one to start the day. Yeah. And had another one and then had another one. Like today, I just got back from the gym not too long ago. I had my Immortal, and I'm washing down Immortal with 300 more milligrams of caffeine. And I'm going to have another one later on. That's me. I'm like a caffeine stick. And you would think the guy with a defective heart, like, shouldn't be doing this. But I kind of had a heart attack in 2015. So you would think I shouldn't be doing this. But, the type of heart defect I have it's slightly different. So I can slam stims like there's no tomorrow, and it doesn't really affect me the way you think it would. It's probably not the greatest of ideas. I can feel my heart like skipping a couple times when it shouldn't be. But I like my stimulants. I don't like that whole non-stim thing. People are like, oh, well, if you need stimulants to get focused, to have a good workout, then you're not really into it. No, it's just the way I used to triple scoop the original Jack back in the day. Fast. Me and my brother would go through about 4 bottles a month of the original Jack.
Well, the thing of it is, too, is like, people get, my feelings about how people want to throw shit fits about high doses of caffeine when it's like, so we have, there's studies, and Robert probably knows more about caffeine than anybody on the planet. It's like, there's performance-based studies, benefits, no side effects type things at 750 milligrams of caffeine, right? For performance athletes. It's when you start putting all that other bullshit, proprietary amphetamines leaking their way into products, that's when you start seeing fuck ups. You don't see fuck ups at 750 milligrams of caffeine. It's when you have prop blends and people have no idea how much caffeine they're taking a gram of caffeine and they don't even know it. Or when you see these shady, shitty piece of shit companies throwing stuff in there to make to make a killer quote stim product when, like, I take, Robert, I was talking to a Paul in nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
There's caffeine. That thing is so clean and awesome energy. And you take some of those, those pre-workouts, they might even have like a lower dose, but it's just that nasty, just you feel
dirty.
like you want to, just horrendous.
Dirty stims.
Yep.
But then a company like them, very high quality, very good with education, they know what they're doing, can put 700 milligrams in caffeine in there, and it's fantastic. You know what I mean? It's a good experience. So caffeine is what people understand, but it's just not a huge part of this industry. You know what I mean? There's so much more that goes on with stimulants and the combinations of things that we're taking and things like that, where it's like caffeine is just what people, there's so much more to it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Rob with the Paul, and he he's a very smart guy, and he makes some crazy formulas, which, me and him talk all the time, and we're on the same mindset. It's just like you won't find, I think one product he might have put it in there, but you won't find theanine in our stim bombs, because kind of defeats the whole fucking purpose. Okay, so we're going to give you a stim bomb, and then we're going to put an ingredient that's going to increase GABA, which is going to make you sleepy. Yeah, that's fucking. Oh, Alani knew. We put 200 milligrams of caffeine, but then they even put on the stupid website, we put 200 milligrams of theanine in there to prevent the dreaded bitch-made motherfucker.
Right.
Seriously.
All right,
There's
your liver probably doesn't work.
200 milligrams of caffeine. My dog can probably drink 200 milligrams of caffeine and not have a post-workout crash for crying out loud.
Right.
I mean, really? Come on. Who the hell formulated garbage? But Rob, he's very good. I mean, he makes a very low stamp 200 milligram caffeine pre-workout. I mean, he makes a 700 milligram caffeine pre-workout. But I'll tell you what, go buy Psychopharma, which is, I don't know, I think they claim like 400 milligrams of caffeine or 500. And they won't tell you how much alpha-yohimbine in there, which is 5 milligrams. But they won't tell you that. It's 5 milligrams. And you're going to die. You just sit there puking your brains out in the middle of your workout. And if they actually tested the caffeine, God,
Rob knows that product, right? Rob, you guys did a review on that.
Going back to the review thing, we gave our honest opinion about that product and caught a lot of shit for it.
I was surprised that they even, especially at that time, that they sent you that product just in general. I guess it was worth it to them. That was what they were going for, was to have people honestly kind of pull it apart and say it's for psychos, basically. So I guess that was their whole angle.
I remember I tried the product on 3 different occasions. I think the first time was when CJ and I were initially doing the taste tests, and we just took a sip of each, so I was okay with that. The next 2 times, I only did a half scoop. Sandy and I did an arm day, and then the other one was like a back and biceps day. And on the arm day, I shit you not, after my first bicep tricep superset, I was on the bench gasping because I could not catch my breath. I don't know what the fuck was in that product, but it's either way more than they told me, because the owner sent me the ingredient list and how much the dosages were, which I never disclosed on the channel or anything, but I knew what they were. And after taking it, there's no way that's what was in that product. At least I didn't react to those ingredients the way I knew how I should react, because I've had similar ingredients and similar claim dosages in other products before. So something wasn't jiving with that product in any way, shape, or form.
They manufacture their own goods anyway, so they can kind of hide whatever they want. It's like there's another company that they have a current new pre-workout which has 753 milligrams of caffeine if you include the 10% from the theobromine, or 756, whatever it is. They own a manufacturing company as well, and they were outsourcing a very large supplement company's pre-workout, and their shit's tested. Like, everybody knows they test their products, and everybody knows that this manufacturer tends to spike shit. They had it tested. They fucking spiked it. Like, they're going to test this. And they literally spiked a company who spends $50,000. Like they spend, because they have a lot of flavors. So each flavor batch they test.
And so that's why they switch manufacturers?
Well, they were doing, because their other manufacturer was so backed up.
Yeah.
couldn't keep up with their production. So they're like, oh shit, we need somebody else to make this, and they're down the street.
Gotcha.
They're like half an hour away from us. So did a huge run with them, and they went and tested it, and it all came back. So they're like, the caffeine was through the roof, the cheap stems were through the roof, the expensive shit was at least half dosed, and it was like, and this is what manufacturers do. This is why when a manufacturer owns the company, they can do whatever it knows unless they actually have it tested, which 99% of the time they're not going to do because they know they're spiking the shit out of this. They got popped. God knows how they just got popped last year. Not that anybody knows. Well, this year, not that anybody knows, but the FDA paid them a visit over, one of their ingredients that might have been making people puke. Whoops. It's like, why is everybody puking taking this? Oh yeah, it's spiked, just like all their other shit. And it's like, come on, man, like, stop, just listen. And I get it. You're trying to compete in a saturated market, but, compete fairly because you can kill somebody. You really could. What if you give me, I have a bad heart. What if you give me some crazy amount of like theophylline or amphetamine or some shit, and you just kind of stop my heart? What are you going to do? You don't, that's why whatever you say, stick to play by the rules, play fair, but people don't like to play fair. So, they got to try to get every advantage they can. Like, let's make our water loss product and fill it with Lasix. Yeah, it's going to work really fucking good because you would have a diuretic prescription drug in there.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's going to work good. But you also don't realize that people abuse these things, and the side effects of taking Lasix, besides the fact that it might destroy your fucking kidney, like, do people not understand? And a lot of these companies, they don't care. They put SARMs in pre-workouts, and I did one run of SARMs back in the day, and it was done. The DEA of the state, the DEA agent, they knew my manufacturer. They were given a list of all the ingredients. Now you can't import it. Back then it was different. And that was before the FDA, before it became a big shit show. And I was like, well, definitely mistimed that one. But everything was legit, tested. It came through. We all knew exactly what was in there. It was 100% legit. Nowadays, you can't import it. So what exactly are you getting?
Right.
I can tell you what you're not getting.
Right. We're pretty sure you're not getting what you think you're getting.
What are you getting? Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. But we're gonna put it in our pre-workout because it'll sell that way. Now, that's just as bad as naming your pre-workout hideous, because that's another great way to sell your product.
Oh yeah, all these serial killer names or killer clowns and all the. I'm just trying to think of the consumer that walks into a supplement store and then sees something like Face Melter 9000 and they're like, yes, that's the fucking product I gotta get. Let's go. I'm just thinking, who? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, is it like some 18-year-old kid that's never tried a pre-workout before and want to try it? Because I know, the kids at my wife's school have seen her take like a scoop of C4 or like a C4 energy drink, and they say, man, I can't do C4. That stuff's hardcore. So I'm trying to think, what kind of person is going into the store and buying these absurdly named products?
And I think that's the thing, like, we're running into now that I get messages, I have DM conversations about this every single day. Part of the good thing about, say, social media and things is we can get information out there faster, right? Mm-hmm. We can talk about it, we can have educated conversations about it, but at the same time, the spread of bullshit information is just as easily passed, right? So
thank you,
I get these questions.
And V-Shred.
Yeah. I get these questions.
That piece of shit in his $100 fucking pre-workout. He's such a cocksucker. Go fuck yourself, bro. He's such a piece of shit.
Canadian, right? Canadian brand.
I like Mark. I like Moody, but the rest of them Canadians, man, y'all gotta fuck off with your crazy shit.
Well, they have. I mean, then like you get teenagers constantly asking me about SARMs and test boosters. I was like, the first thing you should do is understand. You should go to school, like go to class and understand testosterone and why you don't need test boosters when you're 17 or things like that. Or, but it's just this spread this stupid bro shit where they talk, yeah, bro, you gotta do this and this, and you have these irresponsible assholes that have these amazingly huge followings, and they take no responsibility in the dumb shit that they say, and they don't think about the people that are listening to them and will just take, because I know exactly when some asshole, there's a group of them, and I know when they make some fucked up video because I get a flood of questions about it, and it all stems from, which is good. I'm glad that these people come to me and ask me, for like validation and things like that, and don't just go listen to that person. But it's like people just don't take seriously the responsibility they have as social media platforms and influence. You know what I mean?
Well, here's a prime example. All right, Dave Palumbo. He's a great guy, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I know what you're gonna say. What the fuck?
Like, all right. Now, if you want to be the stupidest motherfucker on the planet at one point in time, it was Dave Palumbo. You're a fitness guy. People come to you for fitness news. People come to RX Muscle fitness news, this, that, whatever. So he decides to do, we're going to do the fucking 50 pill challenge. And he's going to take 50 fucking pills, capsules, tablets, whatever, put them in our mouth.
And dare other people to do more.
And swallow them at the same time. 50 fucking pills at once. And people are out here, I mean, it's 2019. Oh, you can do 50? Motherfucker, I can do 75.
And he literally said, can you do more? Like, he dared people to do more.
Now, if you saw the stack of shit that was in his hand, that he shoved in
it was like this.
Had to swallow. Now, some asshole's going to do that because it's 2019 and people just do the dumbest shit. Somebody's going to die. You're literally, like, you have to think, especially with nowadays with all this dumb shit that these kids go to eat Tide Pods. If you're going to do something as stupid as, I have a following and I'm going to tell people to swallow 50 capsules at once, somebody will die. And it's going to come back on you because you were the one that started and posted the shit. It's like you have to have some sort of like common sense. Common sense does not exist anymore, but you need some sort of common sense and a half a brain to know this might not be the brightest idea. Because I know it's 2019 and I said 50, so somebody's going to do 100 and they're going to choke to death.
Well, it's one thing too if you got some kid, right? Some kid with a YouTube channel or some wannabe influencer trying to get some sort of attention to their channel, but it's like when you see people like him, he's been around forever. People respect his name. It's like, what are you even doing that for, dude? Like there's no benefit. You don't need money. You don't need clicks. You have it already. What the fuck are you doing? Like you're an idiot. Like there's no way around it. You're not trying to promote yourself or trying to get out there or trying to make some edgy, oh, this will get me some recognition. It's like, dude, you're an idiot. Like,
I love the guy, but like that, like, did you not? You have to think, like, at the end of the day, telling people to swallow a hand. I mean, I can't. Granted, I've had, God, way too many throat surgeries, so I can't really swallow too many pills at once. But it's hard for me to take like two pills at the same time. If I tried to take 50 because I look up to Dave Palumbo because he's been in this industry for so long, I'd be dead. Like there's no way around it. You have to think when you're an influencer of his level, where you're actually like a legit person in this industry, don't do stupid shit like that. You're not, like Justin said, you're not saying, oh, well, let's see who can jump off a 3-story building and not die. Like you're legit, like you're already marked in this space. You are legit in this space, But we see a lot of, I don't know if it's to just try to get attention, try to get clicks, try to get likes, but you see a lot of stupid shit for attention nowadays, and I'm like, no. I say a lot of dumb shit. I'm very blunt, very honest, but I'll never tell anybody to take 50 fucking pills and swallow at the same time. Right?
No, I wouldn't either, but I'm almost of the opinion, let natural selection take its course, and if you lack if you lack the common sense to realize that taking 50 pills or swallowing a Tide Pod is dangerous, I don't give a shit. if you can go kill yourself for all I care. I really don't give a shit. If you are that stupid and you lack that intelligence, that baseline level intelligence to do something, same people that overdose on cocaine or shit like that. And I'm sorry, this is probably gonna offend people. If you're a drug user, whose fault is it? Are you the one buying the drugs and shooting it into your arm, or is it the drug dealer's fault? He's not holding the gun to your head telling you to do the drugs. You're buying that shit and putting it in yourself. So if you kill yourself, that's your fucking problem. I feel no remorse whatsoever.
Prime example, very topical. One of my friends from high school, he overdosed 2 weeks ago. And they said, "You gonna go to his funeral?" No. I said, "Listen, the man's got triplets, right? They're 3 years old. He's out here doing fucking drugs. I don't feel bad for you. Like, I don't feel bad for you. Every motorcycle death from one of my friends, we go to their funeral. If you overdose on drugs, that's your fault.
Right.
I don't care.
And I had a kid in high school that OD'd on the same thing, and it was I want to say 2 years after we all graduated high school, he was dead from an overdose because he fell in with the wrong crowd or something in high school.
Yeah, and what I'll say too is, like, to clarify my point about that, the supplement industry already has enough problems.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we're looked at as a joke, right?
Yep.
By the medical community, by everything else. And when we have, say, our most influential, maybe most intelligent people that act like that, it delegitimizes everything that a lot of people are trying to do as far as maybe changing the perception of the industry. But I do agree with you. It's like, hey, man, at some point, I'm the same way. I'm like, I can tell you something, but if you're going to do it, man, jump off that cliff, you better learn how to fly, kind of thing. It's like, and if you don't, that's kind of your fault. But
right.
At the same time, it's like, why shoot ourselves in the foot? Like, we have enough problems. We
have
enough
I would agree.
Problems. Like Nick's talking about, manufacturers that do stuff that we don't even know about that creates problems. It's like, do we really need to hold ourselves back, like create problems ourselves just because we're fucking bored?
I'd agree 100%, man.
Like Justin said, we're trying. We're like the laughing stock, you know. But we're trying. We're coming up with new ingredients, new products. We're trying to help people and make products that help people besides, the stim junk workouts, but actual like legit products. Doing research and trying to make products that help people so they can try to avoid going to the doctor and getting drugged out of their fucking minds, because I can't even begin to tell you my 2 shoulder surgeries and bicep surgery, how many drugs I have laying over here, because they just feed it to you. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I took 5 of the 60 Roxys that they gave me, or the blues, whatever, the Roxys, Oxys, whatever, the blue things.
Yeah.
I took 5. Now my next surgery. You want more? Here's a prescription. I'm like, no, dude. No, I'm good.
Fine.
I'm good. Well, here, take this too. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking good. They give you all this medication, right? We're trying to actually create products to help people and not be the laughing stock of, the fucking pretty much the world right now. And when people do dumb shit, it's like, yeah, all right, so we keep putting drugs inside of our products. We're about as, untrustworthy as whatever. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, I always tell people, I'll always trust a thief over a liar, because a thief I know is going to steal from me. No, I know you're going to steal from me. You're going to stab me in the back. But a liar, you never know. Are you being honest? Are you not being honest? And that's 90% of the time people have to question in this industry right now. It's like,
right.
Are you being honest with what you're giving me? And it's like, that's a pretty fucked up place to be in it as far as the industry as a whole. And part of it is because it's not like it used to be, where, you only had, 10 main players, and now you have 1,000 little players, and the 10 main players, nobody gives a shit about it anymore except for Amazon. So it's tough in that respect, because, you can literally be an 18-year-old kid that knows nothing about life. And, one of the kids, I tried to tell him, young kid, tried to tell him when he made his pre-workout, I tried to be nice to him, like, listen, you might want to take that ingredient out of there, because it's literally a prescription drug. Literally. And he's like, oh, well, the manufacturer said it's okay. I said, your manufacturer's stupid. It's a prescription drug. I said, as an extract, if it's in a plant as a whole and it's still an extract, it's fine. as a pulled out extract on its own, it's an illegal drug. It's a prescription drug. Like, what do you want me to tell you? You can't go to a doctor or a pharmacy and say, give me this. They're going to say, where's your prescription? It's a drug. You might want to take it out. Well, no, my manufacturer said it's fine. I was like, all right, whatever you want to do. And when we're the FDA does not like that too much. Like, they don't like it when you start fucking around with shit you're not supposed to. I mean, and it's just a matter of time. Oh, let's ban hygenamine. Let's ban this. Let's ban that. And eventually we're going to have caffeine. Our pre-workouts are going to be 50 grams of citrulline, 100 milligrams of caffeine, and 5,000 milligrams of theanine, and that's it.
But don't forget 8 grams of beta-alanine, too. We need those tingles. We got to have those tingles.
We'll have some BHB salts, so we'll be fine.
Let's put 8 grams of beta-alanine and 1,200 milligrams of alpha-GPC and sell people rocks. I mean, pre-workout.
Yeah. Oh, that is a pre-workout. I had that pre-workout.
No, you had a rock. That wasn't a pre-workout. You had
actually, right. I keep it under my pillow just in case an intruder breaks in at night. I'll just bash him over the head with it.
That is, you could actually use that as a weapon. Yeah. When Ghost came out with that pre-workout, I looked at the formula. I said, "This thing's fucked."
Price Paul, I thought it was good.
Yeah, of course they did. I mean, it only cost them $8,000 to say it was good.
No, I shouldn't say that either, though, because you know what? It was Ben, and I love Ben. Ben's a good dude. So if Ben likes it, I don't mean to be a dick. Ben is actually, I love that guy, so I can't say that. It's a dick move.
Well, you got to remember though, Ben's a nice guy, but he has to do what the boss says. So you can't say something bad about Ghost. They make a cement block for a pre-workout that sure. they God forbid didn't even bother to test before they sent it out.
What is the absorption bioavailability of cement? I don't think it's like, I don't know what the saturation point is, but like I didn't make it through a whole tub of that pre-workout.
I could take the 30,000 pound truck that I drive. I could take that truck, drive over it, and probably flatten my tire or flip the truck over.
That's actually what we were doing. Was we were trying to figure out like alternative uses for because I can't use Ghost pre-workout as a pre-workout. So I was like, what else can we use it for? And we were talking about like, well, you could, get your car up on blocks if you have to change the tire, or if your deck is a little bit offline, you can slide it under there. And we were trying to come up with alternatives because I was like, well, I can't take this to work out with. So
when your house is falling, just throw it under the foundation. It'll love it.
Shore it up.
Yeah. A little spackle. You know what I mean? Like you got a hole in your wall, you can sort of spread it over it.
It's like, did you even bother to test this product at all? Yeah. Dan does some great work. Dan is very good at marketing. He comes from Cellucor. He's very good at marketing. He is a fucking genius. He's a genius. Look what he did with Ghost. Guy's a genius when it comes to marketing. Product making, manufacturing, yeah, not so much. Or the testing. Let's just rush this out because, for some reason they had a deadline with the Christian Guzman thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, test it first. I understand you're trying to be different. You're trying to do something that's outside of what everybody else is doing. But, I mean, you literally, took a pile of shit and froze it. And that's what you're selling, hard frozen shit in a bottle for $50. And they sold out, too. They sold out, and I was like, wow.
How about that video? Remember the video I sent you? It was this girl that I follow, she did a video, and it was like her friend was using a meat tenderizer to try to bust up the pre-workout in order to use it. It was fucking hilarious.
We didn't do it.
Did anybody try throwing it in a Vitamix and buzzing it through one of those things, or like a Ninja blender or any one of those things? Right. I wonder if that would work.
It would break the blender.
Possibly so, yeah.
This goes out here with a steel meat tenderizer, beating the shit.
That's awesome.
Out of it, and it's not even breaking. I was like, what the fuck? Is it literally there's concrete in there? Damn. But you see her in this video, she's like, boom, boom, boom. And she's beating this fucking pre-workout, and this chunk is just sitting there. I'm like, don't swallow that, because that's going to really hurt coming out your asshole. Don't swallow that, please.
That's how, that's how Cellucor is coming up with their new pre-workouts. That's how the Pop Rocks idea came out and stuff like that. They're like, holy shit.
Pop Rocks now, so, gummy bears and Pop Rocks. Yes. I love Cellucor. I mean, listen, I give them credit. We're gonna try something new because we only have 8,000 versions of C4, so we're gonna make C4 Extreme, right? First, I have some of their C4 Ultimate, whatever the black, whatever shit. It's garbage. So they're like, oh, C4 Extreme. I'm like, all right, let's see.
Robert's a big Cellucor fan, so.
Whoa.
He's like, why am I getting thrown in the mix here? And they pulled that label out. I was like, what in the fuck? Extreme.
Yeah, I don't see how that was extreme. And there were a lot of people saying it's the second coming of Christ or something. With people were lauding it as this game-changing, industry-altering pre-workout. I'm thinking it's mediocre at best. It's really not that great of a product.
It's 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, there's nothing extreme about it.
They've been using nitrates forever. They're like the OG of nitrates because, they have this giant fucking contract with Ron Kramer where you can't even, if you want nitrates, you can't have a chrome bottle because anything Cellucor does, you can't come anywhere close to it. Not even the color of your packaging, and it's like they're the OGs of nitrates. Yeah, somebody has to look up because I heard a little rumor that his patents might have gotten pulled on the nitrates.
I think the industry would benefit from that at large.
Like there's I mean they're not even his to begin with. They're fucking Stanfords. They're Stanfords. They loaned them out to him and he's making millions off of it, you piece of shit. That's not how when schools give you that's how Google. You think these two geniuses started Google? No, it's from the school. I think it was MIT. It was either MIT or Stanford, and it was one of their projects that was just sitting there. And they're like, well, we can take this algorithm and do something with it. Now you got Google. They didn't. It's not their technology. It's somebody else's that they got loaned to them, and now it's Google. Same thing with the nitrates. And everybody thinks it's like, oh, it's history. No, he just goes out and finds shit, and then turns around and goes, well, look at me. These are mine now. Bitch, they're not even yours to begin with. You stole, well, you didn't steal them, but you took them from somebody else, and you did exactly what you're not supposed to do, make money off of it. It would be.
And I think he's sort of missed his window also. Although I don't know if this is news or supposed to be out, but I know he wasn't exactly successful with his compound solutions thing, and I don't know that he responded in time, but I don't think so because that grace period that I saw has gone past. So shockingly, don't.
And it's like when my old boss that we had our deal with Kramer. You go to Compound Solutions, you go to New Live. I like your ingredients. I want to use it. Cool. Who do I send it to, and how much do you want? Doesn't matter who you are, what you're selling. And then you got this fucking dipshit. All right. Well, I need you to take this out of your formula, that out of your formula, change the color of your packaging. You can't use this. Dump your caffeine down. That ingredient definitely has to go. And then you can sign a 1-year contract and use this. What?
Mm-hmm.
Whose company is it? It's my company, not yours. And you're telling me how my formulas have to go? Why don't you just start your own company? Oh, you did, and it was a fucking failure.
What was that? What company was that?
Thermolife.
Thermolife.
Well, then on top of that, he's going to charge you out the ass to even use the ingredients. After he's gotten through all these other stipulations, he's going to charge you a buttload of money just to use the ingredients, too.
Oh, God, the amount of money we pay for this bullshit. It's like, bro, literally the nitrates cost like 5 cents. And then you get the bill every month. You're like, holy shit. Wow. So, they obviously pulled it out.
Yep.
Which is good. But it's like, that's one thing. That's one of the things I hate about this industry is the greed. There's so much greed involved in the industry. Like, you would actually, if you lowered your cost, let anybody use it, because you're not liable. There's no liability on your end for stim bombs and shit. I know you're worried, it's going to come back and they're going to sue you. No, no. There's waivers for that bullshit. They're coming after us.
Yeah.
No nitrate is going to blow your heart up. the 8,000 milligrams of caffeine, 12,000 milligrams of alpha-yohimbine, and everything else is going to blow your heart up. Not a nitrate. Charge less money, let anybody use it, and be done with it. But you get greedy, and it's like you see it with a lot of companies where they just get greedy and greedy and greedier and greedier. And I understand everybody, we're in business to make money, but there's a difference between making money and being a greedy asshole.
Yeah, and you know what, man, and especially with you too, because like I said, I mentioned this a lot of times. There's not that many people that know how to make formulas, and I understand that there's people that take a lot of pride in the work that they do and the research that they do and trying to put together a formula and stuff like that. And friends of ours, like people that I have a lot of respect for, I'm just so fucking tired of company owners complaining that their formulas are getting ripped off. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, please, for the love of God. Congratulations. You went out there and you read some articles and you did the work. Okay, good. That's great. But it's like if any formula comes out that looks anywhere near what they do, they throw a shit fit and say, oh, it looks ripping mine off. It's like, man, get the fuck over yourselves, for crying out loud. Nobody cares anyway. Like, if the product works, I mean, imitation is a serious form of flattery, whatever. It's like, just calm the fuck down. Like,
when Formula X first dropped, everything's transparent. I don't give a shit. You want to copy my formula? Have at it. One of the employees of Blocks sent over their prop blended version, which they basically copied Formula X, except took all the expensive shit and lower dosed it. Sent it to my buddy, who he's the vice president of a very large company, and he goes, "Hey, Nick, just want to let you know somebody copied your formula," but they went very cheap about it. All the expensive shit, they downplayed it and threw it in a prop blend, and I'm like, cool. At the end of the day,
right?
Like when we re-release Immortal in January, it's going to be changed. All the ingredients are going to be listed right there. I don't give a shit. If you want to copy it, have at it. At the end of the day, you could have 1,000 products. If you buy a car, outside of the shell of a car, you got leather interior, you got touchscreen, they all have steering wheels, they all have shifters, they all have 4 fucking wheels and tires, and in any business, TVs, they're all like the same shit. LEDs, LCDs, then you finally get somebody, oh, I made a curved TV. Well, I made a curved TV. All right. Who markets it and who promotes it better? And who do you like better? There's people, I wouldn't buy their products just because I thought their CEO was a dick. And I'm like, all right, you make cool products, but your boss is an asshole, so I'm never going to buy it from you.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Well, and that's the thing too, when you start talking about, products that go in people's bodies, right? It kind of changes the game. It's like, I understand wanting to have proprietary like technology and things like that, but when you're talking about a proprietary blend of chemicals and all these crazy things we're coming up with, I don't support you proprietarizing, is that the word? Making that into proprietary formula to try and protect your intellectual property when it comes to things that people need to know dosages, you need to know interactions, you need to know how this fits in with the rest of your life. So I've totally lost patience with people using the proprietary blend excuse as the reason to hide things. Yes, congratulations, you did the work, but it goes in people's bodies, so I'm like, I don't want to hear it. And I'm so tired of these guys fucking whining about this shit. It's like, how old are you? Like, it's fine. It's a supplement. Like, let's just calm the fuck down about it. Like, you didn't cure cancer. Like, you found a pathway and maybe work this. That's like, calm the fuck down.
And there's no award for releasing the most innovative product at the end of the year. You're not going to get a little gold star or a little Heisman trophy or any kind of other bullshit for doing something.
People that give out shields and shit. So
how did I know you were going to say that?
Listen, I got a nice look. I can put a shield right over there, except they don't like me. So I'm not getting a shield. But there's literally Bruce Neller he's working on like 120 stems right now. When he releases those, the new shit, cool. You want to prop blend that ingredient because it's yours and nobody else knows what it is. Okay, yeah, I understand. You don't want people to know that. It's new. It's yours. You're the only one. I get it. That's intellectual property at the moment. Right now, we all got the same shit. What the fuck? There's nothing you're doing that's like, look at me. I'm cool. I'm fancy. I'm special. There's nothing like different that you can be doing except being cheap. You know,
Yeah.
like, you can be cheap.
Going back to that with keeping things cheap versus the actives, Nick. What do you buy into any of the talk about using whole plant extracts, and you can get more synergy and potentiation from the other alkaloids that are in there? So for ureagerensis, for example, instead of pulling out the NN-diphenethylethylamine citrate and using that isolation, do you think by having those other PEAs you could get more potentiation from the actual real ass-kicking ingredient in there, or do you think it's just best in isolation?
Me, when I tried it, I found the best synergy with the citrate on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up reformulating the original Formula X 8 times. I'm like, take this. I even tried it with Bezo 6.
Yeah.
I tried it on the pump side. And I said that to just random people. Just, all right, here's A, here's B. You don't know what's in it. Tell me which one you like best. And when we did the pump side of it, it was basically the pump side, and then one was Bezo 6 and one was Agrotine. The most basic pump ingredient that I wouldn't even really consider Agrotine like a pump ingredient, but the most basic of pump ingredients, as people like to call it, versus Bezo 6, which is, Epicat. At the end of the day, Epicat or Bezo 6 lost every time. Every time.
Right, and that's all that matters.
By random strangers. Right. Random strangers. They were like, "Yep, nope, it sucks." And these are like friends of mine that I want true, honest opinions that live all over the country. They don't know what the hell I'm sending them. Tell me which first. This batch is going to be on the pump side. Bezo 6 lost every time, so saved a lot of money by not using that. Then we went to the ingredient side, and for me, I think a lot of times, depending on what the outcome you're trying to get, like
right, exactly.
Mesomorph uses a lot of PEA blends where, and I think they even put the extracts on there, the percentages, or they'll at least put what the extracts are you're getting. But it's to what is the end goal? Immortal is an ass kicking. That's the goal. Immortal is to put a fire under your balls and get you going in the gym. So if you're using the other extracts that are in there and the other alkaloids, it's not going to give you the same stimmy effect as the citrate on its own. So that was what I was going for. Mm-hmm. And when we tried it on its own, it was 1,000 times better. It's what's the goal? In my opinion, if your goal is to make a stim bomb, isolate it. If your goal is to not make a stim bomb, more of a euphoric, happy feeling, go for everything. And that I'm not going for a happy. The original people said literally, like the company is called Rage Nutrition, but they said we would take it and you go in the gym and you would just fucking rage on the weights, like you wanted to kill people. We had a guy in the gym one morning. I looked at him. I said, "Did you take Formula X this morning?" Yeah, get the fuck out of my way, bro. This dude was fucking destroying the gym. It was bad. That was the point. The point was to make it to where you would rage in the gym. I didn't want you to be happy. I didn't want you to be euphoric. I wanted you to go and fuck shit up and leave. And not crash afterwards.
Right.
Except leg day sometimes, because like we had one girl out in the UK. She's like spot on, this girl Carla. She's spot on with her predictions of a formula and what it's going to do. And she was the first person to ever tell me she crashed from it. And I said, "What did you train?" She goes, "Legs." I said, "How long did you train legs for?" She's like, 2.5 hours.
I'll do it.
Listen, when your body breaks down ATP, you get this wonderful thing called adenosine. Adenosine makes you fucking sleepy. Like when you break down like as much ATP as you have in your body, you're gonna fall asleep. Like there's nothing I can do about that. Like at that point, I don't care what you're taking, you're gonna crash from it. So I was like, try it. Like try an hour hour and a half workout. Let me know if you crash from that. 2.5 hours of training legs, you're like, oh, shit, I'd be sleeping on the gym floor.
Yeah.
But that was the goal. That was I want you to take it and feel immortal. Like nothing will stop you. You will murder whatever's in front of you. I don't like those happy. I don't want to feel happy when I'm working out. That part I don't get. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
But feeling euphoric and happy when I'm working out, no, that's what smoking weed is for. Like, to be happy when we eat pizza, not in the gym trying to work out and destroy weights. That's I hate DMAA, but I loved DMAA at the time because it made me very aggressive. My penis didn't work, so my poor girlfriend never got to have sex anytime I went to the gym. Well, it was like a turtle popping its head back in the shell. I was like, oh, shit, where'd you go, buddy? Well, that's how you... Okay, people, if you want to know, take a pre-workout, and it has DMAA.
I like how he said his girlfriend was at the loss for not being able to have sex, not he was at the one at loss for it.
Yep.
So, if you want to know, if you take a pre-workout and it has DMAA in it, your penis will shrivel up like a turtle and pop its head back in the shell. You could be an 8-inch long pecker. You take DMAA, you're gonna be like this soft at that point. Like it's not. You're gonna go. Your girl's gonna be sucking your noodle, and it's gonna be like a cooked noodle. It's not getting hard.
Right. See, this is why we don't. This is like the whole essence of Supplement Snoop. When I say we can't just stop with studies. Studies are great, but we need real hard hitting evidence, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we do what we do. We want to paint the whole picture.
Yes, your penis will not work.
This is a family friendly podcast, by the way, too. So there we go.
And DMHA will give you a slightly similar non-penis working effect, depending on which. See, the problem with DMHA, there's like 87,000 fucking versions, and nobody knows what the fuck you're actually taking.
Yep.
You don't know. Listen, you're going to take 10 pre-workouts with DMHA. Everything will be exactly the same, except they're going to get it manufactured in different places, and they're all going to be exact identical panels, but the DMHA will have a different feeling from every single one of them because you don't know what the fuck you're taking. One time you might feel, oh, I'm happy, I'm go-lucky. The next time you might get a little aggressive. The next time you might be like, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and chill. Who the hell knows what the hell you're taking? But yeah, that's how you truly know that DMAA is real because you are not getting laid. I used to actually, at the time of work, I was like, baby, you working tonight? You're not coming home, right? No? Good. Start pounding scoops of the original Jack because I knew, because it was great because I take it late at night. I come home,
Makes sense.
take a shower, pass the fuck out for the rest of the night because you're going to crash like hell. I didn't have to worry about having sex because it wasn't going to work anyways. And DMAA was great for that shit. Experiences.
The all-natural form of birth control, DMAA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you never want to get laid, just take DMAA. But, yeah, at the time, I loved it because it made me very aggressive. And then Amp Citrate came out, and I was like, God, this is my favorite thing in the world because I got very great workouts. I used to take 600 milligrams of it at a time. And I'm like, this is amazing. And my penis works. Yes.
FDA was like, no.
FDA, wait a second. Hold on a second. It's another stimulant. Ban it.
Yep, kibosh. Done.
I never even tried it. Well, I'm sure I tried it. I just didn't know it.
Yeah, exactly. I tried it in one. I think it was an old muscle sport product when they were using it way back when I first jumped into the industry, like in 2014, 2015 time. They were still using it and it was still around.
Yeah.
And then, like you mentioned with DMHA, certain products that claim to have amp citrate would kick me in the ass, and I'd kind of have that, that rage that you were talking about, which is I personally like that feeling when I go to train legs. Upper body stuff, I can be either way sometimes, but like when it's leg day, I want something that's going to make me pissed off. And when those are the days that I make sure to not train around Sandy because she doesn't like me when I'm in my pissed off mode because I don't want to talk. I just let me focus on what the hell I'm doing and leave me alone. Don't try all this chit chat stuff. So I've started moving leg days to my own time of day to train, and then we'll do upper body together or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So yeah, that was like with DMA. My goal was I need to recreate DMAA feeling without it. That's what I had to do. So a few mix and matches later, all right, this should work with this. Now we got to switch. This should work with this. Yep.
All right. Deliver.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of times, people are like, oh, well, all you did was throw the kitchen sink in there. There's 22 ingredients in there. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you could look at it like that I threw the kitchen sink in there. But I promise you, the kitchen sink is very clean. Everything is done specifically at a certain number for a certain reason. And it's one of those things where it's like, you have to, there's few people that I know that actually know A, how to formulate, B, what the hell ingredients do, and C, how are they going to work together. And sometimes when you're dealing with new stuff, it's all right, you gotta play with it and try on error.
Right.
But for the most part, if you're on our end, you know how many people own supplement companies that don't even know what the fuck caffeine does? I can tell you the amount of people that I don't even, what does caffeine do? I don't know. Famous quote from a very large supplement company CEO when he first started in the industry. You don't need to know about supplements to sell supplements. You just got to know how to sell, which is true.
Very true.
It's true. But it does help to know a little bit, unless, of course, you have other people to do it for you, which is fine. It's all well and dandy. But, at the end of the day, you're going to sit down and people are going to be like, all right, so this guy literally doesn't know jack shit about jack shit, which isn't cool. You should know, in my mind, you should know at least a little bit about what your business is. Just a little bit. It might help out in the future. When they go to ban ingredients, you have to know how to reformulate very fast and get ahead of the curve because, there was one company, I think it was Chaos and Pain. It was either Chaos and Pain or Olympus Labs, where the FDA pulled a reformulation shit and they were out of product for 4 or 5 months because first they had to figure out how to make it again or to reformulate it again, and then they had to wait in line to have it made again. And it's like, if you're spending a month or two trying to figure out how to do a formula and you have a successful business at the time, that's how you become an unsuccessful business.
Right.
Correct.
I got lucky where, the issue I had, I'm still small, so it's okay. So we just relaunch again in January and call it a day. I'm small, so it's like, all right, nobody really notices that, hey, we kind of had take a little break. Nobody notices because I'm a little guy. But when you're a big guy and you take a break, it's a problem. It's a big problem. Yeah. So, it's like these company owners, it makes me sad that they don't really understand any of the ingredients they use, why they use them, what they should use. They just follow everybody else. A lot of copycat, which is fine. You want to copy. Try to have a little originality besides calling your product hideous. Don't do that.
Can you give some of the listeners an insight in isopropyl norepinephrine? That's one of the newer stims on the block, and I don't think a whole lot of the listeners out there understand what it is outside of it being a relative of synephrine. So why pick that ingredient and why use the dose that you did?
Isopropyl norepinephrine, a lot of people think it's octopamine, but it's not. Octopamine is a extract of the citrus aurantium, like synephrine. But isopropyl norepinephrine, it's a man-made fucking, it's synthetic and shit. It's illegal. It's going to get banned one day. But isopropyl norepinephrine, it works on the beta 1 and beta 2 receptors. So your beta 1 is your heart. That's where you're going to get that racing heart. But at the same time, you have the beta 2 receptors. So you're going to sit down and you're going to get the vasodilation effects because you're not hitting the alpha 1 receptors, which is going to cause a constriction. So a lot of stims that you take, they're going to hit the beta 1 receptors to give you the stimulation of the heart, but they're also going to hit the alpha 1 receptors to constrict, and you don't want to constrict the blood vessels. That's the exact opposite of what you want to do. So basically what you're doing is you're hitting beta 1 and beta 2. So you're getting the stimulation of the heart, and you're getting the vasal relaxation of the smooth muscle tissue, so your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels, without the constrictive properties involved. So you're getting a very strong stimulant, if it's legit. You're getting a very strong stimulant that at the same time is going to turn around and not cause vasoconstriction, and it's going to give you one hell of a workout. I love that one, but it's very legal. It's man-made. It's going to get banned. It sucks. It makes me sad. It makes me very sad because I know the FDA is going to take it away. But it's the reason I love it so much is because you're hitting the beta 1, the beta 2, skipping the alpha 1 without the vasoconstriction. Which, by the way, caffeine is not a vasoconstrictor. People, I know everybody thinks it is. It is a vasodilator.
Yes, I've been beating this drum for over a year now. Oh my God, there's so many of those meathead influencers that say I'm going to use these stim-free pump outs because I don't want caffeine to kill my muscle pumps and constrict the blood vessels. I'm thinking, you dumb motherfucker! If you would just take the time to understand the very basic principles of how caffeine works.
Caffeine starts out with a minor constrictive property. Minor. And then turns into a vasodilator.
Right, yeah.
So, you can take a stim-free pre-workout for pumps, throw caffeine in there, and your pumps will be just as good, if not even better. Because caffeine is not vasoconstrictive for the long-term effect of your workout like people think it is, because people are stupid. Because bro science tells us caffeine constricts my muscles. Hey, you're full of shit.
I think like what you're talking about too with like the beta, the beta 2 receptors, and that's where people like they always ask about compliance and stuff like that. It's like that's why they don't like that within the competitive world, is like just what Nick was saying. Anytime you're relaxing the vessels or you're opening up the airways and stuff like that, it like runs that risk of, is that a performance enhancing drug and things like that. I think that's just one thing that people are a little bit confused on. That's Nick was a great description.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, when you're dealing with WADA, which the Australian government, they follow WADA to a T, it's driving me fucking insane. I'm trying to tell people, like, listen, this is what really pisses me off about the government when it comes to the FDA, the Australian Health Department, the UK food, whatever the hell they are. All right. So your athletes, your professional athletes, your Olympic athletes, they're about 0.0001% of this population. The other 99.999% of the population is just trying to get better at, running a mile or lifting more weights or looking better naked. We want to look good naked. That's it. That's what we want to do. So because these very small percentage of the population can't have what they consider a performance-enhancing drug, the rest of the world can't have it either. We are not them. We are not elite athletes. We are not going on a pedestal for a gold fucking medal. I'm going for the pedestal of the gold medal in the bed sack. That's what I'm going for.
Right.
Why are you taking away my ability to fuck my girlfriend better and look better while I'm doing it? Because this guy over here is trying to get a gold medal in a ring ball toss or some shit. Like, come on.
Right.
Really? This is what we have to deal with. Like, these products will not kill us.
Well, I remember, when I first started kind of doing this stuff, and I remember I was explaining to my wife, about some of these things, and I told her, I said, well, the FDA likes to ban things that help you breathe better and things like that, and she's like, well, that sounds like a good thing, right? Like that you would want to be able to breathe better. I'm like, yeah,
well, you think so?
You think so?
It's like theophylline. Theophylline is a bronchodilator. Caffeine originally was used as a bronchodilator. Caffeine citrate was. And then they finally stopped using it as that method for asthma patients. But theophylline is literally an asthma patient drug. It's not a good one. It's really not a good one.
Right.
Because while you're trying to expand your lungs, at the same time your heart's going to go fucking flying through the roof. So it's like, all right, I can breathe now, except my heart's going like this. So it's like, this is probably not the best combination. So things like that. They don't like it when we have stuff where we get to play around and
they can charge good money for stuff like that. They don't like that.
They can make billions of dollars. Viagra, it's just a PDE5 inhibitor, so your penis can work better. We have ways where we can work around that and kind of help out. Like, just take alpha yohimbine. Your dick will work better. Like, you'll have a better sex life with alpha yohimbine. Luckily, the government doesn't know that yet. But find out, they're going to be like, so alpha yohimbine will make you fuck better. Take it away from them. It's like, dude, come on. Stop it. Give us our toys. But it's the same thing. It's like the isopropyl norepinephrine. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, besides the fact it's man-made, like, it is such a great ingredient. It's a great ingredient because you can take a stimulant that's going to also relax your lungs, relax your smooth muscle tissue, relax your heart while stimulating you. And it's like,
the thing of it is too is like, so I remember, right, they rehashed that article not too long ago about that kid where he was like in the UK or something like that, and he took caffeine anhydrous powder or whatever.
1,000 milligrams.
Yeah, so that was like the big thing, right? And they regurgitate this article, right? And that's sad, right? Okay, that happened. That's terrible. The kid was like drunk or something like that. But that's like all the people with caffeine, right? We take caffeine like nobody's business. We drink alcohol like crazy. We smoke like nobody dies from like caffeine. You know what I mean? Like, it's like as much people as use it. So I don't understand where this obsession with banning some of the things we do, because there's never been anything other than their stipulations within, what they're saying they want legal. It's like there's no reason for it. It's not like people are overdosing and dropping left and right like they do on prescription drugs. It's like, where does this even come from with me? It's like, if there were people that were, clearly, okay, some people are not going to be responsible enough and people are fucking idiots. But even with people being fucking idiots, they can take 4 scoops of something from Steel supplements and, you're going to get sick or something like that. But it's like, people aren't dying. It's like, where did this come from? Where we've got this reputation that we're killing people with some of these things that we're trying to develop to help people. It's like, because it's not that case at all.
I mean, look at Starbucks. All right. So what is it? I don't drink Starbucks, but I'm a Dunkin' Donuts kind of guy for coffee. But it's the blonde roast. What's the big one? The blonde roast venti. Is that the big one?
Yeah, it's a big one.
I don't think I've ever bought Starbucks in my life.
5 milligrams of caffeine. 475. There's more caffeine in that coffee than my pre-workout. And you're going to tell me there's a problem with how much caffeine's in my pre-workout when you drink how many of those things a day?
Right.
On top of
exactly.
But there's 475 milligrams of caffeine in the Starbucks coffee, and nobody blinks an eye at this. Nobody even bats an eye. The biggest Dunkin' Donuts, it's their dark roast something. It's 399 milligrams of caffeine. Nobody bats an eye. But
you can also add, a half a can of whipped cream and all this other stuff to give yourself about 80 grams of sugar at the same time as that 400 milligrams or 500 milligrams of caffeine. And that's fine. But, right, exactly like what Nick's saying. You got people responsibly, like, making stuff that it fucking baffles me. I just don't understand where it came from. It's like a dick measuring contest.
You know why it's not a problem? I'll tell you why it's not a problem. It's not on a label. If it's not there for people to see, like if you told these little soccer moms that they're drinking 475 milligrams of caffeine and there was 50, 60, 70, 80 milligrams of sugar inside of their blonde roast venti coffee, they would flip a shit. But since they can't see it, it's not a problem. Out of sight, out of mind. As soon as you put it on a label, you guys are trying to fucking kill us.
I heard something like this not too long ago, actually.
What? Like, what? Wait, you know what you drink at the fucking store has more caffeine than my pre-workout. You do understand that little coffee has more than that.
That was my whole point about the company that put the 3 scoops and how much caffeine's in 3 scoops. It's like, it's no different than every other pre-workout. They just happen to put it on the label and everybody loses their shit. You're exactly 100% right. It's like,
on the label and people see it, it's a problem. If they don't put it on the label and they don't see it, it's not a problem. And that's the stupid part. It's like, you'll do anything if you don't know the repercussions from it. But if you see the repercussions. Oh, I shouldn't do that. What the fuck is the difference?
Right, like if we were taking three scoops of Jack back in the day, like, but if it wasn't proprietary blended and they were telling you, maybe you would be like, do I need that third scoop? Because I might die.
I should maybe cut back and not take 3 scoops. I mean, I used to train 3-4 hours on that shit. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I just did too.
There was times I would take another scoop mid-workout. Like, oh, the crash is kicking in. Take another one. It was
Nick
so
is very Nick's one of the smartest guys I know, and but he's very do as I say, not as I do type of person.
Yeah, do not. I tell people all the time, do not do anything I do. It's like my diet.
That's what I was thinking about too. Like,
well, it's progressive overload. You build your muscles by adding more weights over time. So it's progressive overload with your stimulant intake. That's all that is. It's natural.
You know, and it's like it pisses my girlfriend off like crazy. But like my typical meals. All right, so like Friday is BurgerFi day. So I get my double cheeseburger and my large fry with cheese sauce on the side. Don't get the cheese sauce on it. You got to get it on the side because if you get it on it, they A, don't put enough, and B, it makes your fries soggy. So you get it on the side, and then you can
experience. That's it. It's all about.
This is why I hate cheese fries in general. Sandy loves cheese fries, and I detest them. I will never split an order of cheese fries with her because the cheese fries get soggy the second you start draping all that crap on them.
No, it has to be on the side.
Yes.
It's very important that it's on the side. And then Saturday, it's called Man Meat Saturday. So every Saturday I have 16-inch Philly cheesesteak. And people are like,
breakfast, right? Like it's like breakfast.
Yeah, it's my first meal of the day. I tell people, I'm like, I will not eat until I have my 16-inch Philly. There's times where, like one Saturday, it was Chick-fil-A for breakfast, 16-inch Philly for lunch, and then I think it was BurgerFi for dinner. It was something bad. And then Sunday is donut day, followed up by pizza. Last week it was 2 bagels with jalapeno cream cheese, followed by BurgerFi, followed by pizza. And I lose weight. And it pisses my girlfriend off like crazy. Because she eats like boiled fucking chicken, you know. And I'm like, well, you have abs and I don't. But I'm not trying to get abs. I don't care. I'd rather have the sexiest dad bod in the world than abs because abs and boiled chicken, like, abs don't taste good. I'm Sicilian. We don't have genetics for abs. I don't know one Sicilian that has fucking abs. It doesn't happen. They're all fat. All Sicilians are fat. Go to Sicily. We're all fat. You know, we may be skinny, but we all got big bellies. You know, that's Sicilians. We're all chunker munkers. So for us to get a 6-pack is like impossible. And, you know, I don't want to eat boiled chicken and 4 pieces of asparagus. So, but I lose weight. I'm in the 2 teens right now. Like, damn, like 219 right now. But my body, I've experimented 8 bazillion times over God knows how many years to figure out I can eat this on the weekends and lose weight.
Well, also, right, you've been in the gym for, I don't know, 30, 25 years, and that accounts for something. Because I'm the same way. Like, it took me a long time. Like, once I started, I cut way down, but then I'm at the point now where, yeah, you know, I can eat pretty crazy if I want to, and you're fine, but it's because I've been in the gym every day for 20 years. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a 30-day program that we're on here.
Yeah, you learn to adapt over time. This isn't those 8-week quick fixes, 12-week. What the fuck was that supplement company? There was a supplement company, the one that Sean sent us, where it was like the 12-week transformation.
Stem pussies?
Yeah, is that what the hell it was? But it was, so you got this skinny fuck who all of a sudden, 12 weeks after taking this company's supplements, is fucking jacked out of his mind. And I'm like, listen, I've fucking abused steroids in my lifetime. You know, like I can tell you, you can abuse steroids for 12 weeks. Like abuse steroids for 12 weeks. And that you wouldn't make that transformation. Like that would not happen.
Yeah,
you can take all the steroids in the and you couldn't make that transformation in 12 weeks. And then you got these fucking companies marketing, take my pre-workout and my chest booster, and you're going to look like this? Bro, that's 10 years of fucking steroids on this guy. Like, come on. Come on. But if people see a picture, they go, oh, I believe it. You know, it definitely happened. No, it definitely did happen. Because I know a lot of people, a lot of Insta famous people that they can change their transformation in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's amazing if you have the ability to vacuum, unvacuum, and extend your gut, how you can make yourself look good.
And that's not even
30
taking into account all the filters and all the other shenanigans you can do with Photoshop on
Yep.
social media too.
Oh yeah, man. How about no? It's kind of funny, and he'll laugh about this too. But so you guys probably saw our pictures from the Olympia that I posted, and it was like me, and we were at the Ambrosia booth, and it was me, Mike Rashid, my wife, and Sean Torbani. If you look at the picture, Sean looks like he's 3 times the size of all of us. You know what I mean? Because just the way the angle is, Sean's like, holy shit, he's like, I look 3 times the size of Mike Rashid, you know what I mean? And it's just the way he was standing there. We just took a normal picture, you know what I mean? But it's just like, if you saw that, Sean looks like he's 275. Mike looks like he's, 240. I look like I'm, $175, compared to these guys. And it's like, it's just kind of funny. And that wasn't even trying. That wasn't even trying to make things look good. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy now because like before it was getting catfished on like dating sites and stuff, but now it's like you get catfished on Instagram.
Damn right.
I mean, if half these if half these girls went missing on Instagram and Snapchat, we never find them because we don't know what they can walk right past us. We wouldn't know because we don't know what they look like without their dog ears. Like, is that her? I don't know. Does she have dog ears? That's not her. Like these girls, and it's the guys too. I ain't gonna lie, but it's definitely more the girls because not too many guys are gonna post like filters with dog ears and nice mascara. But you got guys and girls, they're filtering like crazy. Like, which filter looks best? Oh, that one. Like, really? Just
yeah. Life's too short for that shit.
Like I have wrinkles, I have crow's feet. I have bags under my eyes, and I tell people like, look, I look like I'm The Walking Dead sometimes. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna. This is who I am. So when you see me in person, you're gonna see my crow's feet. You're gonna see my bags under my eyes. You're gonna see everything that's wrong with me, which isn't much because I'm pretty. But
true.
Well, you will see my imperfections because I don't give a shit. Like this is who I am. Take it or leave it.
It's kind of funny, like, and I've had people say that to me too. Like, I don't really think anything of it, right? I do my questions and answers every day, and it doesn't matter how much I slept or anything like that. Like, I'll just get on there and start talking, and people are like, man, like, I could never imagine waking up in the morning and like getting right on Instagram, and it's just like, I don't even think about shit like that. It's like, that's not the point. Like, who fucking, but
you have to change. You have to get your look on first. Like, nah, man, like this is
right. This doesn't help anyone.
This is me. Inside and out, I'm real as shit. I don't care if people don't like the way I look. Oh, look, I got crow's feet. I'm not getting Botox. My girl wants Botox.
Hey, you earned that shit, man.
I'm like, what do you need Botox for? You don't need Botox. Well, I'm getting a little wrinkle there. Who gives a shit? It's called aging. Yeah. Roll with it.
Embrace it.
Embrace the age. I have gray hairs in my beard. I'm not dyeing it. Like, look, I'm salt and pepper. Like we're not getting any younger. I'm 40. We're not getting any younger. Like,
right? It's like our dog has white hair, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, I got dog. It's not dog hair. That's one of mine. All right, well, that's all right. We earned that shit.
I was gonna say, Justin, have you started getting grays? Because I've started to get some like on the sides right there, and every time Sandy sees one, she says, "Man, I love your gray hairs," and I'm thinking, I don't mind them, but it's weird hearing you say you're ready for me to go gray already. I'm not even 35 yet. It's a little weird to hear that.
A little bit.
Turned on by the salt and pepper look.
I think I got a few extras from reading Stack the other day, but I think
Oh, the Alani new one? I gotta go look at that.
No, it was so right. I mean, like Robert and I basically go over Stacked like every week. That's kind of part of our thing. We'll see what's new coming out. And jeez, man, I looked over like the last like 4 or 5 days. What a shit show. So I try to avoid that stuff.
Yeah, that'll take some years off of your life in a quick minute. Do you think it's in general? And I'll ask this to both of you. Do you think it's ingenuous, or disingenuous? There we go. That's the word that I was looking for. When you've got all these fitness influencers that are selling these companies pre-workouts or pushing the products, and they're saying, "Oh, this is what I use during all my workouts, and it's led me to get these results." When damn well it, like you said earlier, Nick, it was 10 years of training and that pre-work is not doing a damn bit of good. So I don't care if it's your personal pre-workout or not. It's that the chances of you actually using that each time you go to the gym are slim to none, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you from experience, we have a lot of people at our gym. Yes, I mean, we have a lot of companies down here that are athletes of EVL, Dragon, Redcon, Blackstone, and a lot of them, their pre-workout of choice is Immortal. Can't tell people about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you go on their post and it's, EVL, 20% off. I love this shit. They got their little picture. I got my stack in, and then it's, bro, when you get Immortal back in. These are athletes, but they're getting paid. People need to understand. They are getting paid to promote a product. At the end of the day, now, there are some people that they do actually take the products that they're promoting, but it's more often than not that they don't. Like Jeff Seed, the guy hasn't been sponsored for years.
Yeah.
And he finally decides he's going to get sponsored by Redcon One. Loves their products. You took the pre-workout one time, and all of a sudden it's the greatest company in the world, and they've talked you out of never being sponsored. You took it one time. Like, there was another one of their athletes. He had never even taken it before. He's like, no, they make the greatest products. I'm so proud to be part of their team. This is my first time taking Total War. What? You just said you've never taken their products before. and you're telling everybody it's the greatest shit, but this is your first time taking it. They're paid. They're paid actors. That's what they are. And I get it. Like, you're trying to make money. I get it, 100%. But at the end of the day, they're very, very dishonest about, their feedback and lying to their fans, so to speak.
Right.
The way I look at it, if you don't genuinely like the products that you're pushing, stop pushing it. Because that tells me you as a person, you're a dishonest piece of shit. Because you generally don't care. Like, you don't care. You just want money. You're doing it for money.
Yeah.
If you're going to stand behind something that you like. Now, if you like something and that company doesn't want to pay you, and all right, fine. Well, I'm going to go where they're going to pay me, or I'm going to go here where they'll pay me more. You see these guys, they're bouncing from company to company to company. I've seen athletes where they have 4 different sponsorships in a year. And it's like, really? But it's, this guy pays more than that guy. That guy pays more than this guy. Right. But it's like, come on, if you want your fans to believe in you and trust in you, then you should try being honest with them. That's the way I look at it. Like, don't sit here and say, I got this body like O'Hearn. I've never done steroids. You are full of fucking shit. You're 50-something years old, and you look better than every man on this fucking planet. No. Don't sit here and tell me you've never done fucking steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, look what happened when Rich Piana finally said, yeah, I take steroids. Like, nobody fucking knew. The guy's 6 feet tall, 300-something pounds. Nobody knew he was on steroids. 40-inch fucking biceps, crying out. I mean, part of it was synthol that he got done in Mexico, but whatever. At the end of the day, like, the dude is fucking enormous. You can't weigh 300 pounds, be under 6 feet tall, and not be on steroids. So he finally admits it because he doesn't give a shit, and he gets fired for it. And then I'll pump you up the size. All right, we're going to start a supplement company for you. Oh, yeah, by the way, he didn't own that one either. I'll pump you up.com on that shit.
Right.
But it's like, be honest with you. He never said, I don't take steroids. He flat out said, here's my cycle. This is what I'm doing. Do not do it. Be very honest. I respect that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And what we continue to get wrong, and Nick can back this up too, because people then all of a sudden they assume, well, if I get on testosterone replacement therapy, or if I get on steroids, if I do this hormonally, suddenly I'm going to be this machine, right? And it's like, forget about it. What I try to explain to people all the time, how you get the results, right? simple. It's the work you do in the gym, right? It's the work you do in the gym and then what you do afterwards as far as diet and stuff like that. All the supplements are a way to get you into the best safe mode to do that work. Like whether it's, the best pre-workout, whether it's a cup of coffee or whether it's smacking yourself in the face a couple times. Someone asked me about what's a budget-friendly pre-workout. I said, don't fucking take one. Just go to the gym and get off your ass. Yeah. So it's like people look at supplements as this is a fat burner. This burns fat. It's like, no, you fucking burn fat. Does this product contain ingredients that will help you, whether it's you need a mental boost to go burn fat, or whether it's you need a light under your balls pre-workout, like Nick said it perfectly earlier. He said, my goal is I want you to go in the gym and just rage, right? So I developed a product that will so anyone that needs, the way they build muscle and the way they crush it in the gym is through just a rage-filled pre-workout. Nick made it for you, right? So use that. That will allow you to do that work that you're looking for in the gym. Does someone want a happy? Do they want to feel, happy and energetic? Nick's pre-workout's not for you. This one has a couple ingredients, but it's not that product, right? It's you that does it. So you have to do the work and figure out what it is, what ingredients, what goals you have, streamline that, and then pick and choose the supplements that help facilitate that goal. And it's like, because if you can, right, it's the same thing as using steroids. We know tons of people that they tell me, it fucking shocks me when people tell me that how much gear and stuff they use, and I was like, really? I was like, you're getting fucking ripped off, first of all. But It's like, did you forget to go to the gym afterwards? I was like, it doesn't matter how hardcore the shit is that you're doing it, like you still have to do the work. And especially with supplements, when it comes to building muscle is not an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that simple. So whatever gets you to that point, whatever you find, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's Redcon or if it's whoever, it doesn't matter. It's like, it could be anything or it could be nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, people just look at it as A to B. This is it. This is the category. I have to take this pre-workout. It's from this company. This person said that they use it. And that's why I can't stand, I fucking hate these people, these influencers that any other way than that. It's like, fuck you. You're a liar. All you're doing is you're setting up. Now, people need to be smarter anyway about it, but it's like, you're just setting these people up to not make any progress because you're selling them on a false illusion. And just in life in general, that's not the way life works. It's like telling people, oh, we're going to give you all this stuff for free. Politicians and stuff say, we're going to give you, life ain't free. You're setting people up, and that's why they get into life and they get fucking run over. It's like, you're setting them up from the beginning to get run over later on, and it just drives me fucking nuts. I hate these people. That's why it's like, Nick knows I don't know any of these people because fuck them. I don't care about any of their shit. Show me the label of your product, and that's all I care about. That's all I care about.
Right. Yeah, and it's one of those things like, one of the big things where it was like life is about what you put in it. Now, when you take some, I don't sell necessities. I sell supplements. I make supplements. They're an add-on to what you're doing. You don't need to buy anything I make. You don't need to buy any supplement in the world. It's a supplement. You're supplementing it to your regimen. It's the same thing if you take steroids. Steroids don't do shit if you don't do shit. They work based on what you do, your diet, what kind of work you put in. By the way, 99% of people have no idea what the fuck they're doing when it comes to even taking steroids because there's an actual science behind it that nobody knows. I know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing, and it's like, I hear people, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what are you thinking? You have to put in the work. You have to put in even more work, especially when you're doing gear. There's even more work you got to put into it. Right. And it's the same thing in life. Participation trophies. Everybody gets one. Well, no, because at the end of the day, if you're not putting in the work, whether it's you take steroids to go on stage, but you didn't put the work in, you don't deserve that first place trophy. You don't deserve to be at the top if you don't put the work in. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's your diet, taking drugs, looking better, playing a sport, getting a promotion, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to put in the work, and then you have to put in even more work, depending on what you're doing, so you can keep getting better at it and keep riding. When you take drugs, you know what got harder? My diet got harder. My workouts got harder. My fucking stress got higher. Everything got harder. Oh, I'm taking drugs to make my life easier. Every part of my life got harder. There was nothing easier about it. And people don't realize that. They're like, oh, I'm just going to take drugs and everything's going to be fine. No, your life is going to get even worse at this point. You're going to look better naked, but your life is going to suck at this point. People, they don't realize this shit. It's nothing, like Justin said, nothing is free. Not even the body you want. The body you want is not free. You have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, like I will never have a six-pack because I flat out refuse to put in the work. So I don't deserve it. I don't deserve a six-pack. I don't. It'd be nice to have one because you look better naked with one.
But there's a give and take, right?
It's like, and that's I was raised that way. You get. My parents always told me, I got one of everything growing up. I got my first pair of shoes for basketball season, first pair of cleats for football season. My first car was a hand-me-down from my dad to my sister. And my parents always told me, you're never going to appreciate anything in life unless you earn it yourself, which is true. So first car blew up, and I had to go buy my second car, and I had to buy every car after that. Handing you shit, like when I was homeless, it sucked. I could have gone to Georgia and stayed in my parents' basement. But, my situation led me there, and I had to deal with it. And I had to get myself out of it. There's no hand me easy solution. That wasn't, going there wasn't the answer to my problem. It wasn't.
Personal accountability is something that's sorely lacking these days.
Yeah. And you know what it's like telling your mother that, because I'm a big mama's boy, you know what it's like telling your mother, that knows you're homeless, that you're not going to come there? They don't like that too well. But it was my problem. This is where I needed to be, so I couldn't take the easy way out. Mm-hmm. And it's not the easiest thing to try to say or do, but it's part of life. And if you fuck up, you got to accept responsibility for it. I fucked up, you got to accept responsibility for it.
Right.
It's not fun sleeping in your car. Luckily, I had a Cadillac, so it's a little roomier than my current car. But I live in fucking Florida. It's 100 degrees every day. Humidity. There's nothing nice about living in Florida if you live in a car. So it sucks, but that was my problem. That was my responsibility. And nobody nowadays, I know kids at the gym, they're fucking juiced out of their minds and they're 17 years old. They don't have any sort of brains or responsibility. They don't know what's going to happen to them. And nobody wants to take the time to put in the research, even with supplements. They don't want to take the time to put in the most basic, simplest of research.
Right.
They'll ask Justin, what's the difference between the isolate and the concentrate and the casein? Really? You can't spend 2 seconds on Google to figure the most basic of things out? What's the difference between an isolate and casein? Really? But everybody wants everything done for them.
Correct.
That's one of the big problems nowadays. Everybody wants. You could have spent less time looking than typing your question out.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You could have the answer before you finished typing the question, but you would have had to do the work versus somebody else doing the work for you.
Correct. Well
Amen,
put,
brother.
Nick. And on that note, I think we will draw this episode to a close. I know we could easily go for another 2-3 hours without even trying. We'll save that for part 2. Nick, let everybody know where to find you, Rage Nutrition, and what's in store for the rest of the year.
Okay, so my main business page is Rage Nutrition on Instagram. My personal page is Rage CEO. Currently, until I'm doing a rebrand and a relaunch at the January, maybe hopefully before, but in January at the latest. The goal is to come back with a new version of Immortal. I have to go through, I'm trying a new ingredient I've never used before, So I'm going to have to play around. I know the dose I want to use on it, but I don't know how people are going to react to it. So it's one of those where I have to get other people's opinions other than mine because I don't give a shit, but I need other people's opinions. So I need to see just how good or bad this is going to work out. Or I guess how tolerable it's going to be, so to speak. So we're going to do a couple trial and errors, but January it'll be relaunched, and then hopefully with non-stim pump as well. Non-stim pump and nootropic, just a non-stim pump. Very basic, stackable together. I'm not a big fan of overstimulating the brain with too much shit because it actually can do much worse than good. So January for that. So at the current moment, if you follow Rage Nutrition, you actually won't see much going on there yet. So everything I do, like talking and all that good shit, is on my personal page, Rage CEO. The website is www.ragenutrition.co. There's no M because some guy in India wants $20,000 for the M. So there's no M right now. It's just ragenutrition.co. We're going to be doing the new logo, because I don't like this. See how it's like the little R and then the name goes across? It visually irks me a lot. So we rebranded that part, got that part taken care of. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. And if you want to just hear some dumb shit come out of my mouth, and I curse a lot, so if you follow my page and you get offended by shit, don't follow my page, please. I curse a lot and talk shit, so yeah, please don't follow me if you get offended, because I'm an asshole. And so the end of the year is just going to be, getting everything ready for January, and we'll be good to go.
Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me for this epic podcast. This was awesome. Links to both of your social media profiles and all that good stuff will be included in the show notes. And we'll do this again, guys. This was awesome.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I'll see you Thursday.
Yes, sir.